Standing in approximately the site where the shooter was, as you can see, I'm a 70-year-old man, and this roof is not a big deal. So for somebody to tell me that Secret Service agents couldn't been here, that's crazy.
So again, that's the sloped roof, and that's some less than 200 yards away from where the former president stood giving his rally speech. We know that one rally goer lost his life protecting his family. Two others were injured in this, just a complete failure of security, causing the Secret Service director to now step down. Your thoughts on where we are today and gaining more knowledge about what happened, and now we're learning a little bit about the shooter using a drone, having explosive devices on him as well.
Yeah, well, look, the explosive devices, I think they found it in his car. He also had a detonator in his pocket. And so, you know, my theory is that he was going to create a diversion after shooting the president, and so he was going to detonate the bomb. I think that's just a theory. We're going to try to figure out. I mean, we've got to go into the mind of the shooter himself. But yeah, you know, look, the speaker and the minority leader have put together a task force. The task will be to put out a report by December 13th. Whoever is in that task force has to be looking at all the radio communications, the planning that went beforehand, who did the planning, why did they miss, you know, things that were obvious. Look, I went to the scene and I stood where the podium was. Once, you know, all you got to do is look to the right and say, hey, there's a building right there about 100 yards away. It's got a roof. That needs to be protected, yet that was outside the perimeter. And it's well within rifle range. And so why it was outside the perimeter, that's a question that needs to be answered. Like I said, there are so many things that fell through here that weren't followed up. And even then, you know, we also know now that they had cited, look, the local police had cited this individual as somebody who was suspicious. They were actually looking for him. And they were looking for him maybe 20 minutes before they brought the president out. Why would you bring a president out when you're still looking for a guy who's supposed to be very suspicious, could be a threat to the president and to the crowd? Why would you bring the president out at that time? All these questions need to be answered. There's a lot of failures here, and at any one point, this could have been averted, and yet all those things failed, and yet we got this tragedy. So that needs to be investigated by the task force. A report is supposed to be out by December 13th, and so the American people know exactly what happened. But also, you know, more importantly, why did it happen? Why did the Secret Service have so many gaps? Sure. Is that something that's normal for the Secret Service? Do they have the training? Do they need to step up their training? Have they lost their mojo? And so it doesn't happen again, not only to protect the principal, but protect those people that are around the principal.
Yeah, great point. And also, who's looking over those advanced plans, right? Director Cheadle had said that she wasn't the one who oversaw those. So who decided on the perimeter, right? And then also, how did it take so long for people to communicate with each other when there was clearly already reports of this suspicious person? Congressman, you think about what happened since the assassination attempt and where we are today. Yeah, the RNC play out. The president of the United States says he's not going to seek re-election. He endorsed his vice president, who's now already out on the campaign trail. You have the prime minister of Israel, who will be speaking this afternoon to members of Congress. There's so much happening right now. When you think about the strength of the Trump campaign, how do you view it today?
I think that we're going to win in November. We have the better candidate. Look, now they went from Joe Biden to Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is rated as the most liberal senator in the Senate when she was in the Senate. That means she's more liberal than Elizabeth Warren. She's to the left of Bernie Sanders, and Bernie Sanders is a self-proclaimed socialist. And so she's, you know, we've seen how incompetent she has been on the border crisis, everything she's handled. I don't think she's ever handled anything very well. And so, yeah, we're going to attack her on what the policies of the Biden-Harris administration have been, how they've been a disaster for the United States. Everything they touch has really turned sour. Everything is America last. And so, yeah, I think we're in a good position. I think President Trump is in a good position to be the next president of the United States. But you know what? You can't take anything for granted. Yeah. We're going to grind this out. We're going to show the American people who Kamala Harris is, and at the end, and also show them who Donald J. Trump is and what he's going to do for America.